You've got all these kids making millions of dollars and being celebrated for their success, but you, over 30, are barely scraping by and wondering when your big break is going to be. I know how frustrating it is to see kids much younger than you seemingly have success land in their laps, even though they have way less experience. If you're over 30 and you want to improve your business, watch this video because you've got a massive killer advantage that no one is talking about and that no amount of youth can compete with. And you're not going to have to resort to words like bro and slay. So I want to start with the fact that you have a massive advantage that no one else seems to talk about. I certainly never seem to see it on YouTube. Now, this is a skill something that only you possess. And no matter how eager or energetic the younger generation is, you can always beat them with this. I often talk about the analogy of climbing a mountain as a way of illustrating how to reach a goal. Reaching the top of the mountain, for example, could be a $1 million business or your first $10,000 sale or whatever it is. And if you're at the bottom, you might not even be able to see the top. Now, the goal is to just carve one step into the side of the mountain each day. That's the goal. And eventually you'll reach the top of the mountain. Now, other people will overtake you. That's inevitable. Other people will sprint off and charge on. The younger ones sort of might just storm up and Area 51 go for it. And yes, some of them will seemingly reach the top like it was effortless, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But most people in general, even the younger ones, they will give up. If you talk to anyone, the regrets they have are usually, I wish I hadn't given that up when I was younger. Being older gives us patience. Young people will charge at something and feel that if they don't make it the first time, well, it's time to quit and move on to something else. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I recommend trying lots of new things to younger people. But when you're older, seeing other people succeed faster and easier than you can be demoralizing, but that's not the game. You've got patience and you can continue to carve those steps into the side of the mountain at your own pace. The mistake people make is seeing someone else accomplish a goal easier and faster and then trying to copy them based on how quickly they've seen someone else do it. Do not do that. Avoid that. You've got patience and delayed gratification. That will overcome and beat overzealous, energetic, and naive eagerness 99 times out of 100. Now, this second mistake I see people make is if you make it, it could cost you years of your life, and it will also explain why you're not seeing the results that you expect. Now, this might be something that you're guilty of doing. Please don't take offense if this is you. We all do it. It's not your fault. I've certainly done it, and it's a bit of a carryover from when we're younger and when we're at school and what's considered fair. So it's not entirely your fault if you are making this mistake. Now, a while back when I sort of first started my business, I worked with a guy who was older, very experienced. He was a relatively successful public speaker, and he asked me to help him sell more consultation in some of his digital products like courses and stuff. And he noticed that over time, his speaking gig numbers had been going down, both in the amount that he could charge and the amount of speaking gigs that he actually did. And he also saw that he was struggling to sell his products. Now, his frustration was, I've been doing this 20 years. I've worked at events with Oracle and Microsoft and SAP. Why am I not getting more work? Why won't people buy my products? He believed that his experience with other industry leaders meant that his customers would want to work with him more. And the problem is that a lot of his accomplishments were impressive to his colleagues and peers, not his ideal customers. As a side note, I have a degree in marketing. I have a Chartered Institute of Marketing certification. I've got a bunch of professional marketing credentials. Not once have any one of my customers ever asked me if I've got any of these professional accreditations. We feel that it makes sense to get industry clout, but really all that does is impress other people in your field. Now, this is a really important thing to understand, and missing it could prevent you from ever growing. Experience and time served is no guarantee of success. It's not a free pass. Although it is valuable, instead, what I want you to think about what your audience respects and what they want. Don't try to impress your peers. impress your audience. And sometimes that means directly contradicting everything that the industry experts respect. Now, this third point might be sort of the most important one that you could learn if you take anything away from this video, and ignoring it could lead you to go literally insane, right? In lots of cases, it's the core reason that you and many other people are unhappy. I remember there was a kid in my school who always had the latest gadget. Now, this is a video for people over 30, so you and I know that latest gadget wasn't a smartphone, it wasn't even a phone. It was stuff like a Game Boy. But this kid, he always had the next thing. Now, looking back, I don't know how his parents could afford this kind of stuff. But anyway, Tamagotchis, Transformers, Pogs, whatever was in, he had. And because kids are idiots, this made him very popular. In the late 90s, the Pokemon trading card game came out and the kids went absolutely mental for it. And this same kid had tons and tons of Pokemon cards. And again, because kids are idiots, that made him very popular. Until Tom started school. Now, Tom was from China. His parents moved over here and he went to our school. Tom had a crazy amount of Pokemon cards, plus very rare ones like Charizard. Now, for those who don't know, now Charizard cards sell for like thousands of dollars. Tom had so many of them that he'd give them away. And again, looking back, with the benefit of hindsight, I don't know if they were fake. I also don't know why someone from China would have loads of Pokemon cards, which is a Japanese product, but maybe when you're a kid, you're an idiot and you don't make that connection. I've literally just made this realization recording this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Because the previous kid, the popular one, he was furious that Tom had so much clout. In his eyes, he had value because of his wealth. And as soon as his fragile model of the world came into contact with a very harsh truth, which is that there is always a richer kid than you somewhere. Someone will be born who is now the richest person on earth. Minutes later, someone else will be born who is going to be, or who's already richer than them. Now, the popular kid, his whole identity disintegrated like a Pokemon card left in the rain. There's always going to be a younger, richer person than you out there. And it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I've met a lot of them and I have calls with a lot of them, and some of them are completely miserable, but they can't let go of projecting wealth and success because they're worried the world won't accept them if they don't have a financial number behind them. They literally don't believe they have value or are worthy of love if they don't have financial backing, which is pretty sad. Rise above that. It's meaningless and it's petty. You don't need more money than what you know what to do with. But all of that sort of pales in comparison to the next sort of point. And I'm always really upset when I hear similar stories to this, because doing this often leads to deep, deep regrets and even depression if it's not stopped as soon as possible. I remember hearing a heartbreaking story about a woman who worked at a music studio, and she has lots of people who retire from their job. They come into the studio, they book it for like a week or two, and they decide to record an album or a song, and they've spent their entire life telling people how much they love music. And maybe they work as an accountant or something like that. Nothing wrong with being an accountant. They have spent their entire life doing that, but they say that music is their passion and how important it is to them. And now that they're retired and they've got time, they're going to devote all their time to music when they retire. And they've put in something like 40 years into their work, and they decide that now is the time to record some music. And this woman, it was on a podcast, she talks about how heartbreaking it is because they spend like a day or even a week at the studio and they listen back to what they've just recorded and it's awful. They're shocked at how awful they sound, and they say they haven't got any rhythm, they haven't got any tone, the lyrics are bad, and they become really despondent and even depressed. And this is actually quite common. It can take decades to become a competent musician. Honing your craft and writing 1,000 songs or 1,000 lyrics only for one of them to be good. And these people, they keep telling themselves, well, I'll get around to it. I'll do it when I've retired. My point is this: it's not too late. now is the time to do something about it. You won't be a musician after you retire. You don't need to hold on to anything. Now, of course, the question you might have is, okay, well, how do I put something together that could make me the money that I make? Which is why I've got this video here talking about how to make a six-figure income starting from scratch, even if you have got experience, but if you haven't built something like this before. So go ahead and watch this video here.